Let's dive into fixing the dreaded EOF error, EOF when reading a line error often encountered when working with lists in Python. This error typically pops up when your code attempts to read a line from a file or other input source, but it unexpectedly reaches the end of file, before it expects to. This often happens within a loop designed to process lines from a file or input stream one at a time. Here's how to troubleshoot and resolve this. 1. The root cause. The EOF error usually means your code is trying to read beyond the actual data available. This frequently occurs when you assume there's always another line to read, but the file or input stream is empty or shorter than anticipated. For example, imagine you're processing a list of numbers from a file, expecting 10 lines, but the file contains only 5. Your loop will try to read lines 6 to 10, resulting in the error. 2. Checking for empty files streams. Before you begin processing, always check if your input source, file, network stream, etc., contains any data. This is the simplest and most effective preventative measure. You can check a file's size using OSPath_getSize to see if it's empty. For other input streams, check their length or availability before initiating your loop. 3. Using try-except blocks. Wrap your file reading code within a try-except block. This allows you to gracefully handle the EOF error without crashing your program. The except block should contain code to handle the situation, perhaps printing an error message, setting a default value, or simply exiting the loop cleanly. 4. Iterating safely with for loops. When reading lines from a file, the safest way is to use a for loop directly on the file object. This inherently handles the end-of-file condition. For line and file object, automatically stops when it encounters the end of the file. This eliminates the need for explicit checks, making your code cleaner and less error-prone. 5. Proper file closing. Always close your files using file object close after you've finished reading them. Although Python automatically closes files when they go out of scope, it's good practice to close explicitly. This is especially true when you are handling exceptions or your program might terminate prematurely. The with open, as for context manager, automatically handles closing the file even if errors occur. 6. Debugging your logic. If the error persists after implementing the above steps, carefully review your loop logic. Are you correctly managing the loop counter? Are your read operations correctly aligned with the expected number of lines? Inserting print statements inside your loop to inspect values at each iteration can help pinpoint the problem. For instance, printing the current line number and the line's contents before processing can help find the exact point where the error occurs. 7. Example. To illustrate, let's say you have a list of numbers in a file called numbers.txt, and you want to sum them. Instead of a potentially error-prone while loop, use a for loop with error handling and file closing. Python try total equals 0 with open numbers.txt r as f for line in f try number as int line.strip. Nunch removing whitespace total plus sustain number except value. Error print f. Skipping invalid line.strip. Print f sum of numbers total. Except file not found. Error print file not found. Except EOF error print unexpected end of file encountered. This comprehensive approach handles file errors, invalid input, and the EOF error gracefully, leading to more robust and reliable code. Remember to adapt these techniques to your specific situation and input